Hello, welcome back to my channel. I made this. I'm not sure why I wanted to try create a project like this, but I found it was something I could at least do and try finish. Similar to my TOONSQUID video, I will pretty much be sharing my own progression on this project, and it's much more detailed and methodical compared to this video. But yeah, check it out. And if you guys are new here, welcome. I hope you find it very informative. I'll be splitting this video into 5 chapters, so feel free to skip through if you want. Anyways, yeah, I hope this video is somewhat helpful. The apps that I used was obviously TOONSQUID, and then I also used Procreate this time. TOONSQUID obviously being used for the animation, and then I used Procreate for the background. For those wondering what I use to make videos, I use LumaFusion. It does have an expense, but it's worth an investment if you're someone who likes editing on the go like me. I think last time I checked it was around $50. Anyways, yeah, I sadly didn't get to use Rough Animator, which is one of my favorite animating apps, but yeah, onto the process. I've always liked the lo-fi vibe and just everything that goes with it, with the music and just the art and all. I've come across several lo-fi videos where the art is just really cool, and it always just makes me feel somewhat nostalgic for some reason. So I kind of wanted to emanate that nostalgic feeling that lo-fi always seems to give, but I'm not sure if I did it, but yeah. For my lo-fi, I kind of wanted to just go with the flow of things and not think too much about it, so I went with the classic character doing something in their room while having headphones on. It's kind of like the lo-fi starter pack. If you don't have some character with headphones, studying, or doing whatever, what even is it? But that's also not to say that all lo-fi needs to have some character with headphones and they're doing something. There are others out there with their own themes. Anyway, I started out just kind of sketching and mapping out what I wanted in the room. As you can see here, I actually had a reference to an artwork I did ages ago, and I can say that this whole artwork was the sole inspiration of the room. It's not finished, obviously, but I created this artwork around October 2022, I believe. And side story, I suppose. I remember the previous night, I think I hyped myself up to wake up around 4 AM to do some sort of chill nostalgic bedroom artwork. And I actually did. I woke up, and then I started doing the drawing, and then I went back to bed after. Hence it's unfinished. But I guess this artwork could be the whole origin of this idea. Anyway, I got my sketch done and I ended up with this. It wasn't too bad, but once again this drawing's purpose was only to act as an idea for the layout of the room. I plan to actually do a different angle and do a different perspective to make it much more interesting. Once I had the idea done and dusted, I went on to using the perspective guidelines in Procreate to recreate and imagine both of these drawings combined to make the room. Now the idea of this lo-fi was actually pretty ambitious and a little far-fetched, if you ask me. Originally, I wanted my own character to do different things at different hours of the night. Like for example, my character would be on the PC from 12 AM to 1 AM and then change and maybe go to sleep and nap for that hour and then wake up and do something else. At the time of starting this, I figured I could do it because I was just really ambitious and was fully focused on the project. But eventually I did realize I had other priorities I needed to attend to, so... And eventually you want to change things along the way to spice things up, and that's kind of what I did. Once the clean line art was practically done, I then went on to coloring. I'm not going to focus too much on this segment of the project, but I can tell you after starting coloring, I literally do not have any more footage from here. If you guys want to know when I started this project, I started it on the 24th of March last year, which I guess isn't so bad, but I tell you, this artwork and project went on like 3 hiatuses, and it's mainly because I also did have priorities, like I said, so I didn't record the rest, but I did finish it somehow. I also was debating on whether I should go for a more saturated light approach to really illuminate the light, so I went on to ask my friends which looked better between these 2 artworks. Majority of votes win, and the one with less lighting won, and I didn't agree with it. I'm someone who likes to have bright colors in my artworks, but seeing as it was meant to be lo-fi, my sister actually said if I wanted to go for a more lo-fi feel and look, I'd have to go with no illumination because by definition, according to Google here or whatever, lo-fi colors are usually dull and muted as opposed to being bright. And you know what? Fine. Fair. This artwork wins. And thus the results. Spoiler alert, I completely disregarded it and still made it brighter. It may seem like I finished this up and went straight on to animating, but I really didn't. I started this project up again, I think at the end of January, and pretty much worked on it through early February. And because it had also been a while since I last touched this artwork, I needed to familiarize myself with the 1,000 of layers, oh my god, that I had, and I kind of just needed to see what I needed to kind of finish up in the artwork. From a distance, the artwork looks finished, but as I looked closer, I could see spots that I missed and I'd have to go over. Aside from that though, once I felt happy enough, I finally went on to animating. For animating, I started with 2 still frames and then went on to animating the roughs. In the animation, I wanted to try and bring not everything, but some aspects of life in the room. Aside from my character just bobbing his head, I also wanted to animate curtains blowing in the wind, giving that nice windy environment touch, and the results look like this. And then finally went on to clean the animation. Wow. Funny thing, I guess, the character I actually wanted to animate was going to be a girl, and if anyone has noticed, there are clothing on the floor that pretty much indicated, and why I suddenly changed it was because I just wanted to. There's really no reason at all. I just wanted it to be a guy. Doesn't really make sense why it's a guy and he has feminine clothing on the floor, but hey, maybe he's waiting for his girlfriend to come home so he can finally sleep. Or maybe he has a secret hobby on the side. Who knows? Anyway, I also added music notes appearing on top of the guy's head as a reference to an animated video that I did to Porter Robinson's song, Hollow Heart. Check it out. I think it's a pretty good song, and I like it, yeah. But aside from that, I painfully went through the process of animating and cleaning each part. And the results are this. As opposed to my TOONSQUID video where I go through the process of cell shading, for this one I kinda went, yeah, I'm too lazy, so I'll just go with the flow and block color it, and that's what I did. I started with the skin colors and then eventually made my way through coloring each and every part of my character. This was also the same with the curtains. I wanted to try have the curtain animation have a see-through appeal or effect, so I was playing with the opacity settings and found a way to emanate what I wanted, thus the results. I wasn't sure at all how I was going to approach lighting in this animation, but then again I had an idea in my mind and just went with it. To give depth, I made a new layer and turned on multiply to act as shading in the shadows. I didn't have to actually animate each and every individual frame because surprisingly when I played it, it still looked pretty solid, but it's also because I think in this animation there's not much movement involved apart from the guy's head bobbing. The rest of the body's pretty stiff, given if this animation had much more broader movement, this shading part would have been a total pain in the ass. I'd probably have to individually animate each frame. So I was glad I could just leave the shade on top and it still looked pretty good. For the curtains, I didn't really have to do much at all because all I did was just put on a layer of multiply and it worked. After finally getting that done, it was finally time to add some illumination, of course. Since he is facing a screen, I went on to experiment with different colors and put it on ad. And it came out pretty good somehow. I liked how it gave the appeal of the light he was facing. More details that I wanted to add was the line color to the animation to give it that nice extra feel of colors, and this is what it looked like. At this point, you can pretty much say I'm practically done, but I wanted to do just a bit more because I'm a prisoner of my own brain and I'm a pretty bad perfectionist. So I added some flicking lights on the TV and background to have those city lights effect. I still wanted to do more, so I went on to ask friends about what I could do to just add it to make it more lively, and one of them suggested a cat, so I added one. And that's that. This is the results, pretty much. I can say I'm pretty proud of this-ish. I actually made two versions, one that I like and then the other version that doesn't have much illumination in the room, given it's supposed to be a lo-fi feel. But yeah, here's the one without. And then here's mine. I think they both look pretty cool. I kind of did this project as well because I wanted to make my own wallpaper on my PC, and that's kind of what I did. Look, I did it. Oh my god. I kind of just wanted to make this video just for fun and I guess show you guys who are curious to see the process of it. But yeah, now I can say I made my own lo-fi. It's not perfect, but I am proud to say that I finally finished it even after almost a year of starting it. So yeah, thanks for watching guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it and more to come. Bye bye.